Caitlin, to your point on feeling good, you made a couple of quick trips to the locker room. Was there a reason for that?
Sorry, who's talking? Oh, my bad. Just getting my back adjusted. It gets out of line pretty quickly. So just getting my back put back in place a little bit. But other than that, I feel great. But
you attack the basket a lot. Is that a point of emphasis for you? Because I saw you dribble drive hard to the rack a lot.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think especially if they're going to call it the way they're going to call it this year, I think I honestly could have probably got a couple more calls on a few of them, but that's okay. But yeah, I think getting my feet in the paint, whether I'm going to shoot it or not, it makes them get in defensive rotation. And that's going to get my teammates a shot. So that's definitely been a focus. I think I lost a little bit of that last year with just my burst and my step, obviously dealing with the injury. So that was kind of my priority, and I felt like I did that well. And get a few more shots to go down. It's a really good game.
A'ja Wilson doing what she just did, there's no coming back for her. She should be fined, barred, suspended, something because the level of assault Kane Clark took. There's no coming back. There's no turning back for A'ja Wilson after what she just did. Given the severity of Kane Clark's assault, she ought to be fined, prohibited, suspended, or subject to some other punishment. The time I did a little short that wound up getting 1 million views basically on every platform as to why Caitlin Clark was the one who got this big, massive Nike deal. But at the same time, there was backlash because A'ja Wilson did not have a Nike deal. And people were like, how did Caitlin come in and get it? A'ja is great. And in a lot of ways, that was a preview for some of the dumbass. The issue is that we have spent months tracking the entire controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark's Nike deal. Wilson supporters took to social media to bemoan the injustice of Clark getting her own shoe. The content was incredibly intense even though the league MVP seemed to be neglected. But wait for the plot twist. Wilson just revealed that she has a 2-year contract with Nike and Stone. What A'ja Wilson just did was unprecedented. I mean on so many levels. She's arguably allegedly the reason Caitlin Clark was assaulted the entire 2024 bath. If A'ja couldn't talk about the shoe, Wilson was aware that she was working on her own unique shoe while her fans were. Disparaging Clark and Nike isn't the way she decided to approach that rather intriguing. Following her purported positive vibes brand, she remained silent and watched from the sidelines as Clark dealt with the needless heat. Wilson could have put an end to the entire debate with just one phrase. A'ja couldn't talk about the shoe. She couldn't talk about the shoe. That's fine. And that's understandable, right? Like that's understandable. But there was also a way to do it that didn't make it seem, because if I'm reading that, I'm thinking she's saying, yeah, you guys got me, but it's coming, right? Like, we will. In contrast, Clark just kept her head down, focused on her game, and handled all of the criticism with composure. This really makes you think about the difference between sincerity and image, doesn't it? Wouldn't want A'ja Wilson on my team. Or maybe I should turn it around since she's A'ja Wilson. I wouldn't want to be on A'ja. Wilson was aware that her special trainer was being made while she sat elegantly. Over the course of 2 years, she developed, perfected, and planned the release of her signature sneaker. She let everyone think that Nike had betrayed her by choosing Caitlin Clark first, despite the fact that her suitcase was safe and her moment was assured. That's more than just being indifferent, guys. That individual was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Wilson talking about, oh, I've been waiting 2 years for this. Wait 2 years for this. 2 years for this. 2025-2023. CC's announced in 2024. Delayed not denied in 2024. Backlash all to tell the truth. You turned Caitlin into the antagonist to win over everyone's sympathy. We're talking about letting an inexperienced person suffer online abuse while she only watched it happen. For what reason? A few more clicks to maintain the enthusiasm of her fans, because trust me, Wilson's fans have been following Caitlin from the start of her WNBA career, and for them, this shoe drama was the perfect excuse. At Caitlin Clark, she's getting $28 million. Don't they want sisters to get paid, or they don't want a white girl to get paid first? I think those loud voices have abruptly ceased speaking, don't they? As it happens, the real source of the disrespect was a Nike. Instead, it originated with Ya and everyone who let this false narrative get out of control. Caitlyn was just trying to extend the game, but you was acting as though she was the victim in this scenario. What? For example, where on earth do we go from here? A'ja Wilson's recent actions were utterly insane, was completely unhinged. You knew for 2 years that you had a signature shoe coming out, but yet, and still, you played a fake damn agenda about Caitlin Clark getting a $28 million deal, which we still haven't heard the ramifications of your actual deal. At least I haven't heard, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people we don't know how much money. It would have just needed one tweet. Hey, don't worry, all I need is my sneaker. The drama would have concluded spectacularly, but she let it happen as if she were a villain seizing chances. She saw the dragging of Caitlyn's name, a falsehood for 2 years, and the same people who were shouting about injustice are swiftly trying to change their minds now that we know the truth. The issue is that this is much more than just shoes. As we mentioned earlier, check out Caitlyn's medical care. She appeared to have a bulge on her back from a moment she joined the WNBA. Instead of praising her contributions to the game, many detested her. Why? Because she made millions of new people aware of the sport. Because she inspired people who had never tried women's basketball to do so. After realizing her star power, Nike said, because this is where the future is heading. 30 years old knowingly. Sending an angry mob towards and a 22-year-old player is to set the record straight. Caitlyn did not steal the show. She made no attempt to cheat. She was so talented that, similar to how she earned her spot in the league for a while, she got the shoe deal. Nike. Oh my God, Nike folks. Sometimes, it's just the absurd thing though is that we all know what would happen if Caitlyn's admirers were visiting you in that way and the roles were reversed. It would make headlines everywhere. Think pieces, arguments on Twitter, ESPN segments, and more. But what time is Caitlyn? Crickets, whole crickets, not to mention Nike's inconsistent claims. Isn't this Super Bowl campaign honoring female athletes fantastic? They published another commercial the very next day, but Caitlin Clark wasn't in it this time. Think that they added a voiceover. From my experience in editing, I have used this many times with other things. They actually changed it with a. How on earth does this occur? We are talking about someone who has actually changed a game's regulations. The most talked about female athlete in America. Someone whose stats are on par with those of the NBA. So why is she being left out? The solution is rather clear. The veterans and old guard aren't exactly welcome. They are happy to make money off of her achievements. What about getting her back, though? No, they are not elevating Caitlin Clark. Rather, they are barely tolerating her. They will use her success as an opportunity to grow their numbers. But where are they when she is attacked? They perceive her as an outsider who is fortunate rather than as someone who has earned every bit of her accomplishment. Isn't that an amazing look for Nike? That raises the question of what's really going on behind the scenes at Nike, doesn't it? Before we start, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's go back to our tale. Caitlin Clark is not the one who is most in pain in this circumstance. In fact, she is able to bear the strain. The real victim is the WNBA itself. If you treat your top players like a problem, you can't expect the league to expand. Every thoughtless comment, pointless argument, and secret attempt to lessen her impact. Because of all of this, the league appears to be small, insecure, and disengaged from what is happening right in front of them. The figures are obvious. Caitlin Clark is more than just a star, as seen by TV ratings, sold-out venues, and ticket sales. She is a phenomenon, but some people seem more interested in trashing her than in acknowledging that Wilson now gets her unique sneaker. It's an important event that should be honored, but we can't ignore how this whole problem evolved. Months of meaningless turmoil, constant taunts at Caitlin, and people making up stories to suit their own agendas. It revealed something disagreeable. Some players in this league appear more concerned with maintaining their self-esteem than improving the sport, despite all the talk about expanding the game. Then, as if it were the biggest moment in WNBA history, Sheryl Swoopes is in the spotlight pushing